Hi, I'm Teresa. I'm Director of Recruitment at FuturePeople, and today I'm going to share with you some tips about how to answer a behavioural-based interview question. These are really popular types of style of questioning because it really focuses on your past behaviour as being a predictor of your future behaviour. And you'll encounter these types of questions most frequently, particularly when you're interviewing through somebody in HR. But they are a really popular way of getting to the detail about how you perform in certain aspects of your role. Behavioural interviewing follows the STAR principle, and that stands for situation, task, action and result. So your situation is explaining where you found yourself, what sort of situation you're in, and then what the task was that you needed to carry out, and then what actions you took to complete that task, and then of course your end results. Always really important to finish up with your end results. My first tip is seeking advice. And of course your team here at FuturePeople can provide lots of advice for you about behavioural-based interviewing, and we do have a guide that we can provide you as well. Alternatively, if you haven't been in to see us yet, searching on the web will find you thousands of results. It's a very popular search term, and you'll get lots and lots of advice from the web. Tip number 2 is prepare. I cannot stress this enough. It's absolutely essential. A behavioural-based question is quite detailed. You need to answer it in a lot of detail. And so if you don't have that already prepared in your mind, you're going to struggle when you get to that type of question. So make sure you've got your stories prepared around how you have performed in certain aspects of the role. And some of the popular themes would be your teamwork, your motivation, customer service, negotiation skills, particularly if it's a sales role, and of course leadership type questions for those of you in more senior roles. Tip number 3, it's one of the really common mistakes that people make when they're answering a behavioural-based question, and that is to answer in a very generalist way. So for example, someone might say, oh, I would normally do this, or that's what we usually do. And that's not what the interviewer is looking for. They're looking for a very specific example from you, about you and what you have done. So always focus on, in this role, I did this, or in this role, I was asked to do this, run this project, and this is what I did, and talk them through the rest of that STAR process. Don't fall into that trap, because a lot of people do. So this is where your preparation really comes in handy. My tip number 4 is really focus on examples and stories that are positive, had a positive outcome. That's the ideal scenario. Now, we don't always do everything that results in a positive outcome. Sometimes there are failures in our work. But ideally focus it around having your examples for where there was a positive outcome. If not, then at least talk about what you learnt from that experience. So what you took away from it and what you would do differently next time. Is a really key one, but if you can, always keep it positive. And my final tip is know your story really well, because what the interviewer will likely do is drill down into that story a little bit further. So they'll ask you further questions to clarify certain parts of your situation or certain parts of your actions that you took, and ask you to provide more facts around that. So you really do need to know this information and have the facts in your mind ready to go. So this is where your preparation is absolutely key, so you can talk in depth about those particular scenarios in your previous work experience. Behavioural interview questions are actually quite easy, because what they focus on is you, and you can answer stories about yourself much better than anybody else can. So long as you're prepared, you should absolutely ace your next behavioural-based interview. And for more information or help from us, please do get in touch with one of your team members at FuturePeople, and the best of luck with your next interview.